Hey everybody, welcome back to my channel. My name is Ruby and I can't believe that I have reached to the third and final project of the series. The only reason that I announced it out loud because I said to myself, if I do announce it, then I will be doing all the three projects, else I know I will get lazy along the way and I'll just leave it. So I'm so glad that we have come till the third project and we're just about to complete the series. Yay! So yeah, moving forward, this is the third project. We've already done two projects, the first one being the stars that we did with the air dry clay. If you haven't watched it, I will link it here. Please go ahead and watch it. It's a very fun DIY which we did with air dry clay, and we created a wall hanging type of thing, and it was very well received. So yeah, go and check it out. The second project that we did was upscaling a rug. So I got an IKEA rug and I upscaled it and into a basket which can be used as a storage basket and as well as a planter. So that's also a very nice DIY. I will link it here if you haven't watched it. Please go ahead and watch that as well. So for this DIY, we are going to be creating this. No, we're not going to be making the mug, but what you see on top of the mug, we are going to do that. This is called, let me just keep it back. This is called marbling technique, and that's what we are going to do in this project. It's a very easy and fun project. It doesn't need a lot of things, so I think you will be able to do this even under the lockdown situation. So without any further ado, let's begin this video while I sip on my tea. So for this DIY, you will need a solid color mug. I have this one. I got this from IKEA, but you can use any mug that you have at your home. You don't really have to buy a new one. So I have these two mugs that I'm going to work with. The next thing that you need is a lot of nail paints. So I just took out all the stash that I had, and I thought of working with all of them. Then next you will need a vessel or anything which has a little depth, and then I covered it with a garbage bag because I didn't want to spoil that tumbler. And then I put in some warm water. It doesn't have to be hot, but it needs to be a little warm. The next step is to sprinkle some nail paint on the water. So if you see the way I'm doing it, this is actually not my first try. So the first two tries were didn't come out that good. So after that, you just dip your mug in the water like you see in the video, and all you have to do is gently dip in and just take it out. I'll show you one more time. So you just sprinkle the nail paint and you just dip your mug and just take it out. That's all you have to do for this DIY. So once that is done, you will have to leave it to dry because it might have some water on it, and also the nail paint needs to be dried up nicely for the next step. The only issue here is, you should be using a spray paint for better durability. Throughout the process, I realized that nail paint is not something very efficient for this project. So if you have a spray paint, I think that will work even better. So the next I'm doing is using an acetone or your normal nail paint remover to correct the mistakes. So while I was doing the dipping, there were few things that got wrong and I didn't like how they looked on the mug. So I'm just using my regular nail paint remover to correct my mistakes. You can totally skip it, but I'm just doing it to give it a more of a minimal look. That's what I'm doing here. So once that is done, I'm using decoupage glue, the one that I already have. It's a matte finish one, and I'm using it to put up a coat over the nail paint. This acts as a protective layer on the nail paint. After this, you leave it to dry, and once it is dried, it looks something like this. I would have preferred a glossy one, but matte is the only thing that I have, so I'm gonna go ahead with that one. A quick update while working on the project. So I realized that if you do this technique on something like a mug which you are going to use on an everyday basis, I don't think so this will last, because even though you apply Mod Podge, I don't think so it's gonna last for a long time. I think until you find something which is like more protective in nature in the market, like a varnish or something, I doubt this is gonna go very well in the long run. So I would not advise you to do this technique on a cup. Although I have shown you the technique works simply like this, and you can replace your mug with anything. For example, I use the same marbling technique on this white planter. So I had this very small white planter, so I thought I'll use the technique on this. So it works perfectly fine, and the good part is that you're not going to use this in your everyday thing. Like, it's gonna sit there in one corner and just be pretty all time long. So if at all you're going to do this technique, I would not advise you to do it on a mug, though I have like shown everything on the mug, but I would suggest you to go for other items. Like, something that is on top of my head is a planter, and I think it works perfectly fine, like a white planter, and with all the marbling technique it would look perfect, and it would last you also very long. So yeah, that was something that I wanted to pitch in, because I realized that anything and everything that we're doing on this cup is not gonna last, because I just give it a wash and I felt that the Mod Podge was coming out. Like, I could feel that Mod Podge coming out in my hand. So I don't think so it is sustainable in that way. So don't do this on a mug, don't try this on a mug, rather try it on something which you're using it as a, you know, showpiece, or something which is going to be stationary at one place and not gonna be used every day. So that is one tip from my side. So that was it for this video. I hope you liked this project that we did, and I hope you like the series of these 3 projects that we have done. Finally, this series has come to an end, and I hope you liked the video. If you did, make sure you leave a comment, give it a like, and subscribe to the channel if you haven't already. And also, guys, we're very close to the lockdown period getting over. Don't get frustrated. I know times are tough, but just hang in there. We just have few more days to go, so hopefully when this ends, we'll come out more stronger and grateful and humble from this situation. So yeah, I'll see you soon in another video. Till then, bye.